during that. We have gone through many levels in our discussion today. The society we live in, that we build, the foundation we create for ourselves and those after us. Let's hear what activists in our community have to say. Please welcome on the stage Anelia Chervenova.
Not yet? Oh, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for staying till the end of the conference. I'm super amazed that the crowd still remains till the morning, which I hope signifies that we are delivering quite an interesting content for everybody. I'm Anelia Chervenova, and I will be moderating the community panel today. We are going to talk about solving socioeconomic fragilities through communities with our panelists, and I would like to introduce them one by one. Giuseppe Di Benedetto, founder of Open Sofia Foundation. Monica Ivanchovska, Chief Operating Officer at Bulgaria Wants You. Dejan Yankov, founder of Community Center Trotuara 2020. And Professor Nikolai Shterев, Chairman of the Association of the Professors in Economics and Management of Industry. Welcome on stage. Now, we think of human communities, particularly as social units, where people share a sense of belonging to common needs, interests, preferences, risks, if you will, that are affecting the identity of the participants of those communities and the degree of cohesiveness of that community. So tell us quickly about your community, which group of the society you work with, and how is your foundation, association, or organization created. So Dejan, to start with you first.
Okay, so I am a chairman of a community center called Trotuara, and in Bulgarian this is called Читалище. Maybe from my touch with different communities around the world, and so we are focused on the work with young people and teenagers, but the Читалище in Bulgarian type of organization is something unique, and I think also it's in the UNESCO protection, like as a heritage cultural. But so for me, this is something genius, which is discovered here in Bulgaria, like many hundred years ago, like more than 100 years ago. And our community in general includes almost every part of the society, because to have a sustainable community, you need to include all different groups from this society. For example, if you look at today's environment, you need to have young people, you need to have businesses, you need to have government organizations, and you need to have just normal, regular citizens who are doing their job. And so to have real community must involve all of these groups, but our focus is on working with teenagers and young people.
Thank you. Professor Shterев.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody. I represent an association of professors in economics and management in Bulgaria. We have 230 professors and teachers of economics in Bulgaria from 26 universities. So it's a big community that is put some way away from everything, just because all of us, we remember the universities from our memories when we are studying. But we are facing with everything that we are talking today, with the young generation, that they are coming in the business in the next 7 to 10 years. So we have a lot of things to say to everyone, and our association aiming to create bridges between academia itself, because we are representing 26 universities. Basically, we are competitors between us, but we need to help each other in communication with the business, communication with the students, communication with the policymakers. So our association is aiming to create such bridges and to help different stakeholders to perceive academia, to perceive universities as a different place that printing just diplomas of bachelor's and master's degree. So thank you.
Thank you. Monica, what about
Thank
your
you.
organization?
Today I am representing our company Bulgaria Wants You, but to understand what exactly it is, I should tell you and take you back to 2019, where the report of United Nations stands that Bulgaria is the fastest shrinking nation in all over the world. And we were really worried what, as a community, we can do to stop this process. Not only Bulgaria facing demographic crisis, let's be honest, it's going to be the really big theme on the next 10 years, especially in the European Union, but we find a solution like to get together and attract Bulgarians from abroad, but also tell the people in Bulgaria why it's worthy to be here, why we have to be happy to be in this such an amazing country, where we are one flight away to every beautiful place in the world. We have mountains, we have sea. Anyway, you know already all the privileges that Bulgaria has it, but Bulgaria Wants You attracts not only Bulgarian in Bulgaria, not only Bulgarians from abroad, but every person that thinking that Bulgaria could be a nice place to work and live. Long story short.
Thank you. That's an amazing initiative with a great goal to achieve, and I hope you make it a reality. Giuseppe, what about your community? What are the commonalities, needs, beliefs there?
Before I answer this question, please allow me to take advantage of what I've learned. You asked me during the break before, what are the 3 things you will bring home with you today from the speakers? And I didn't have time to answer, so I'll answer this question now, and I'll tell you what I learned and what I will never forget about this day with you guys today. So first, I will take home the awareness of the need to connect your brain and to do this, you know? And to be sure you're doing this when you are in the position of having to deliver or to perform, like myself now here. So, and to do this, I've learned that I need to be aware of my feelings. Now I feel very nervous. I'm acknowledging this. So, what should I do to feel more comfortable? I'll do something which I've learned by Mr. Guano earlier, which is do something strange so people will remember you. And also they will laugh, they will connect to you, and hopefully they will take something home from you. So I'll do now something unusual, and I will do what I've learned from Frank, which asked people to give a big round of applause, but I don't want it for myself. I want it for the PMI Bulgaria chapter, which brought us together all today here, and gave us this great opportunity to share knowledge, to learn from each other, and mainly, and I think this is also the reason why everyone is here, to win a diamond.
Indeed.
So big applause, and in the meantime, I'll also take a selfie, because I think we also all here. Then I will tell my friends that they were applauding for me. Okay, I feel a bit more relaxed now, thank you.
Thank you.
So, your question was what are we doing with the Open Sophia Foundation and why, I guess.
Essentially.
I will start with my personal experience, and that will answer the question. When I moved to Bulgaria 8 years ago, I had no connection. I was in, like, in a new country where people spoke a language I didn't understand. People used to write in an alphabet I didn't understand. And so I was in a very fragile position. I had to embrace this fragility and to make sense of it and try to overcome and survive it. So what I did, I went out and I looked for other people like me in order to support each other and to help each other. So back then, when I relocated to work in a outsourcing company here. Many of you know that the outsourcing industry in Bulgaria is very strong, and they hire people with languages, and that's why they offered me a job. And what we were doing back then for this Microsoft project, we were managing a self-help community for Microsoft users. So I said, oh, it will be so nice if we, people like me, we had a similar platform where we could support each other and say, wait a minute, I can just replicate and use the blueprint from Microsoft and just translate it into a community where foreigners like me in Bulgaria support each other. Very soon I learned that internationals in Bulgaria weren't only foreigners. There were many Bulgarians sharing the same destiny with us foreigners. Bulgarians who've been living, studying, or working abroad and came back, relocated back, following what she just mentioned, like the opportunities that Bulgaria offer to many people with skills. So I created this Facebook group of foreigners in Sofia and friends, which maybe I know some of you is already member. Some of you is member since the beginning. I know there's Chris here who's been like a witness of our journey from a small Facebook group with 20 people meeting for the first time in a cafe. And 8 years later, we have a community with 52,000 plus members. And from that experience, we created the Open Sofia Foundation to better organize info, services, and events for the international community, and to support each other, and to make of our fragilities of being foreigners abroad and starting a new life somewhere else, somewhere new, our biggest strength, which is grow as an individual, as a person, as a professional, face your fragilities, embrace your fragilities. I think we should clear the room from a bit of misunderstanding about like fragile, anti-fragile, which like, for me, my humble opinion is not that we have to get rid of fragility. We have to embrace it and protect it, protect our beauty, like a diamond we're using here has a logo of the evening, and that's what we're trying to do with the Open Sofia Foundation, how communities help overcome fragility and make it an opportunity.
It's like the same side, the two sides of the same coin, you know, it can't go separate, it's always together, and you have to live with it, both of it, fragility and anti-fragility.
Definitely.
So, crises normally tell us a great deal about our political and social economies. When we are in crisis, we are better able to see the cracks of systems under pressure. We begin to understand the disadvantages of many of the structures we've created to govern our daily lives. But we are just humans. We are complex and therefore fragile. We are interdependent and interconnected, which creates the complexity. Often our need to survive supersede our economies of conviction. So with that in mind, tell us about the particular fragilities of your community, of the members of your community that you have witnessed during the last few years of crisis. Professor Sterev.
Okay, it's a very interesting question. I could answer according to our experience in the universities. Something that we are fighting with, and I'm quite sure that in the very near future, this will be a problem in the companies, in the business as well. Starting first with the technologists. So they're great. We keep our notes. We could use mobiles, laptops in our presentations to do them better. But okay, staying in front of the students, you see, let's say, 2/4 of the people just chatting on their mobiles. And this leads to the next fragilities. We saw in the previous speaker very interesting about the artificial intelligence. So if you're in the net, non-stop in the net, and if you use, let's say, ChatGPT, so when I'm speaking about something, students, what are they doing? They're typing in the artificial intelligence what that is meaning. And next, I have a hand, okay, professor, you're telling us something wrong. In the internet is written something different. So in these circumstances, it's very difficult to be a good professor because you are provoked how to answer to the students. And finally, this is a result of the COVID and respectively the networking, working in distance in different social networking. The problem is our students, they're muting us. You need to talk, to have a discussion, and somehow they disappear. And what they explain, okay, I lost my connection. So you know how easily is to lose connection with internet, your mobile or laptop to lose it. So these fragilities, they're very strong. We're fighting in the universities. And okay, it's good to discuss here today because we could teach each other how to fight with them and how to help these young people to be better project managers, to be better workers in the project teams, because this is the future and all these students will be in the business in the next years.
That's a strong statement that we all need to unite together to get ahead of it.
We need to learn each other.
Monica, Bulgaria Wants You was established as a platform to actually connect Bulgarians abroad with businesses here in the country to eventually find a reason, who will eventually find a reason to come back. And you work with businesses very closely. Have you seen such broken link that Professor Sterev is talking about in the business area, between business and employees, particularly when it comes to motivating people to come back and find their place in the country?
Maybe not broken link, but not any link sometimes. As an employer branding media platform, we are trying to be bridge between the people, not only Bulgarians abroad, to be bridge, connecting all the people who are seeking for opportunities in life and career in Bulgaria with the businesses in any area. And that's why I think the motivation to be better version of yourself should be not given like the responsibility to the university, to your own employer. It's, I think it should be your desire. Our personal job is to be, to seek for the opportunity, to seek to how to grow and how to motivate yourself without any, I don't know, any outside, yeah,
incentives, let's say.
In my opinion, it should be like that. And we are trying to give the best examples from the Bulgarian employers, who gives the opportunity to rediscover those skills that Bulgarians and all the people all over the world can find here in Bulgaria.
Mm-hmm. The young inspiration, safe environment, mentoring are just few of the strategic pillars of the project at Trotuara. How important are these for ensuring young people find their aspirational goals and are set up for success, not only for the world of work in front of them, but also for the world in the university that Professor Sterev is talking about, and what are you doing to set them up to enter this world in a proper way and be successful and connected?
Yeah, so I will start a little bit backwards because communities are created around values, and the values are the most important thing. And values are something which they don't teach in schools. They barely teach at home, like most of the homes actually. And at companies, they have some written list of values, but if you ask any of the employees of this company what are our values, no one will be able to tell you. And actually, the more important thing is to give the people, like for example in our case, the teenagers and the students we are working with, to give them the question, what are my values? Like to make them ask, what are my values? Like, of course, inspiration, creativity, these are things which work very well. And like the passions you have and the music they're making, the events, everything. But still the most important question we want them to learn is what are our values? And this question is the thing that I'm trying to make our community united, like the main core of the community.
Great, thank you. Giuseppe, how important is for internationals to feel safe and at home when they decide to move here in the country and essentially start from ground zero?
Well, that's a very important, difficult question to answer, and I believe the answers will be individual for each foreigner. We might have different backgrounds, different personalities, different approaches, and then different experiences. Bulgaria, in general, is a country with many opportunities. One of the questions I've been asked most of the times when I interact with someone new is like, how comes that you coming to Bulgaria from Italy, which is supposed to be richer and more beautiful and things like connected with the stereotype of Italy. And so actually Bulgaria had offered me opportunities, career and business opportunities, which I could only dream in Italy. Because of the openness of this. Yeah, it's funny and it sounds hilarious, I know, but it's a reality. And so I'm very grateful to be in this country, and I think many foreigners share this feeling with me, that is a country where they can have opportunities, something that will never happen to us in Italy is like recruiters chasing you, offering you jobs. And this is like, if any of you is working in any recruitment or talent acquisition department, they know what I'm talking about. The struggle for talent here is real, and that translates into opportunities for many people. So Bulgaria, for foreigners, in general for internationals, including international Bulgarians, is a country with many opportunities, which offers big challenges as well, because there is no opportunity without a challenge you have to or a problem or issue you have to solve. So what we're trying to do with the Open Sofia Foundation, with the openbulgaria.org, which is our platform, is making it a bit easier, facilitate this transition. Like one of the keywords I've heard today is change. We need to be agile, we need to adapt, we need to change, we need to transform, you said before. And there is no transformation if you don't embrace that you have to do something different. You have to, sometimes you have to improve, constantly improve what you're doing, or do it differently or better. Sometimes you have to do different things. Like I've read something on internet like yesterday, that if candles producers will constantly improve their product, they will never come up with electric bulbs. So they had to do something different in order to move forward and project themselves in the future. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help people, support people into this transition in order for them to be smooth and to open opportunities for them.
Thank you.
guys see one Sicilian guy how speaks about Bulgaria with love, with desire.
Thanks to Bulgaria.
We should be proud, all of us. Now I would like to give two definitions before we move forward. First, an ecosystem comprises community participants that come together for mutual benefit, often centered around a platform. A community-centric ecosystem facilitates flows of energy, resources, information, and value among interdependent individuals, groups, organizations, and the environment so that everything and everyone can benefit and sustain itself. Do you think that establishing partnership between business and community as part of such an intertwined socio-economic ecosystem can help find the vulnerabilities we struggle with and transition to a more resilient future, to a more healthier future?
Okay, I'll try to be very short this time, so no worries. Yes, the answer is definitely yes. Communities are one of the most powerful tools for businesses, whether they're supporting their customers, whether they are trying to connect with stakeholders or prospects or future clients, whether they're trying to build up brand awareness or resilience within their teams or improve efficiency. All comes down to community management in a way, because without people, that's another thing, a key word I've heard here, people are at the end the ones who are gonna execute strategies and plans, and the ones that are gonna benefit from what is the output. So businesses and community managers like us, or community creators like us, have a long way to go, but very fruitful synergies can be established. Most of the business who have been here sharing on the stage before, they know this very well, and they leveraging communities. We are here also to establish and to connect with each other. Interconnection is another element of modernity, and we cannot deny it. We are all interconnected, as McLuhan said, like we live in a global village. So here we are also to establish connections, to establish partnerships, and to hopefully be mutually beneficial between communities and businesses.
Thank you. Professor Sterev, is there value in building such relationship from your point of view?
Yes. From yesterday, we discussed with the other panelists about the added value of our communities. So something that I could find very positive in the case of Trottoară, the case of Bulgaria Wants You, and the case of Giuseppe Open Sophia Foundation, this is the change of two words that we use a lot of times, maybe not properly. Just for example, we are focused on talent seeking. We see a lot of words, and today as well, how to see different talents. And the next words that we use, this is team working. But looking for the best examples that are from other communities, we could reshape and to increase anti-fragility of by working together, business and our communities. Two words. This is, instead of team working, it's better to talk about co-working. So working together, instant creation teams and managing teams. And the next one, instead of looking or seeking for talents, to talk about co-creation. This is something that we could find in examples in our colleagues on the stage. So this is something that might be very positive in the future. And together we could look how to use it in the practice.
I think there is a great opportunity for the university to work together with the students and motivate them to have the courage to develop their career and grow their family in the country and support the cause of Bulgaria Wants You.
Back on your question previously, I'm not good on math, but let's say that the successful model is a national cause, because Bulgaria Wants You started with the belief that we can change our future now before it's too late, and you need one national cause, somebody to believe in. You need a few crazy people with desire and working with many love and many hours to do that be true and become true, and some companies and businesses to believe in your idea. That's how Bulgaria Wants You was born. Few crazy people can do a lot of changes.
Dejan, are there crazy people at Trotuara who can make change?
So we don't like crazy people in our community
In
center.
a beautiful way, crazy people.
In all kinds of ways. So that's actually my favorite question you just asked, because so Trotuara has been founded 2014, and since then we fund ourselves 95% only with donations, without any kind of government or European projects. At the same time, all of the services we offer to the teenagers are free of charge, so no one is paying us. We don't have a business model. And the only way to do this is by working with companies and citizens and other communities. So it is very, very difficult, and but this is the main reason that I chose this approach, because we have even some partners here in the audience with who we are working with maybe for more than 5-6 years. And during this process, this journey, which the previous speaker just mentioned, and so this is a very, very strong foundation which you are building for your future community. And no matter how it is, I just want to continue in this direction, because I now start to see the benefits of pushing to work with other people and not just find funding or projects or something which encloses you in a little box.
Thank you. I would like to quickly bring you to the topic of the conference today, anti-fragility. Anti-fragile is the ability to improve with stress rather than merely resist it, as the word resilient implies. We've heard a lot of definitions about anti-fragile becoming agile, resilient, sustainable in a fragile world. How an anti-fragile community look like? What do you think are the key characteristics of an anti-fragile community, I guess, in your dreams first, and how we can make it reality? Professor Sterev.
It's very difficult to explain how the anti-fragile communities look like, but some game that we play with the students, let's close our eyes, try not to think about anything, and after 3 minutes, open eyes and write the first 3 words that came in your mind. So if you do this, you'll find your idea how anti-fragile community is look like. For me, the key words are communication. So we need a community that communicate each other. The second keyword is teaching or learning. So we need to learn every day for everything, especially to learn how to work together, for example. And finally, something that I saw and I like very much in the previous presentations is about trust and engagement. This is something that we need in the anti-fragile communities in order to be better one.
Thank you. Dejan, you work with one of the most fragile groups of the society. How an anti-fragile community like yours would look like?
So teenagers, they really need like a strong sense of community and people around them. And like maybe when we grow up, we forget about this, and this is when we lose ourselves, when we stop relying on the people around us. But so anti-fragile, for me, the most important thing is the values of the individual do not interfere with the values of the community around you. And to respect the values of the other person, to respect the values of the community, and to be able to give and take like as much as you need, and to never forget who you are, and that's it. And to have happiness in the everywhere.
Thank you.
We don't
I
have
would like
time.
to, yeah, but for me it's important to ask the last question before we close. How do you think our community, the people in the audience here, can help your community to grow and sustain itself? Giuseppe.
Well, in many ways. As I mentioned before, the first step is to connect with each other, to look for ways we can be mutually beneficial. Some of our communities will benefit from sponsorship, from professional help, from support, from access to information, help on how to apply for grants that can bring a budget for our causes, and many other ways. Maybe in the audience they will know better than us. So I believe that what we have to do after this is like connect, exchange like LinkedIn contacts or whatever platform you prefer. And then let's brainstorm together on how we can help and support each other, which is the ultimate goal of any community. And all communities are, by default, by definition, anti-fragility, because that's where you build a safe space for everyone to overcome their weaknesses and make them, turn them into opportunities.
Yeah, we've heard a couple of times we are stronger when we are together. Monica.
I'll be short. Wherever you are, whoever you are, stay connected to Bulgaria, respect and love your roots. Bulgaria just wants you.
Thank you. Dejan, very quickly.
So as I told you, our main goal is to make a community, and so if you want really to help growing and sustaining and making anti-fragile our community, just let's meet, let's talk, let's exchange some values, let's create some inspiring projects, and let's think about how can we together be at the same time in the same place and make something good.
Thank you. Professor Sterev.
I fully agree with Giuseppe and with Dejan. Basically, the university wants everyone. So don't be afraid to come to the university and just to share your experience, just to share your knowledge to everyone, to the students, to the professors, to the teachers, because we also learn from the business as we try to learn to teach the business on the best practices as well. So don't afraid to work together with us.
Thank you. Thank you for participating in this discussion. I think that inspires most of us, and hopefully we'll together create an ecosystem that is community-centered in order to achieve our dreams and aspirational goals. And thanks to the audience for staying till the end.